Hello, everyone. This is Omar from the Third Rail. I hope everybody's doing fine. We're having a beautiful, beautiful day. Sorry I've been absent. Happy Sunday, I guess you want to call it. Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, the 23rd or 22nd of June. School is almost over in the United States. In New York and other cities, it's been over already. Today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to about talking about the lynching of Jamaal Bowmen, an African American who is in Congress, who APAC, the Jewish lobby group, has declared war on, and has spent more than $23 million to defeat him in New York City. We're going to talk about Hezbollah and Israel. They're about to go at it, and the good news is, there's no good news in war. When you come and look at what the Houthis demand and Hezbollah's demand has been, it's very simple. And the Iraqi resistance, all these groups, all these non-state actors have been stop the war in Gaza. We stopped shooting at you. You stop, we stop. But we cannot let you go on and in this day and time and genocide 46,000, 50,000 Palestinians. If America doesn't have the balls to stop it, because we are scared of Israel and the Israeli lobbyists in the United States and Israeli money or Jewish money in the United States from Jewish billionaires. I mean, why are we still pretending? I mean, let's stop pretending this game. That there's a difference between Zionists and those who support Israel. I mean, APEC, the American Israeli political committee, whatever the fuck their name is a domestic organization. So what that means is it's a Jewish organization. It's a Jewish lobbying group. It is Jewish money and other people's money that use this vehicle to defeat anybody who's anti-Israel. Its main purpose is only Israel. It spends $100 million every election cycle to make sure that everybody stays in check. As if the United States Congress and the United States political parties, they have no free will. They have no free will to decide. Imagine that you're being propped up like the person who's running against Jamaal Bowmen in New York, just because Jamaal Bowmen did not wanted a ceasefire. So you got to ask yourself what's going on. And let's look at this couple of videos here, then we'll have a conversation, I hope. Hang around with me, man. Hang around. Is this it? No, did he? All right, here you go.
Where is it coming from? Well, this race isn't...
Okay. This is Chris Hayes from MSNBC, so-called news. It used to be a channel, now it's not. It's only now it runs errands for... No, it's not going to be like that. We're going to be even. All right. Chris Hayes is going to discuss AIPAC and its influence on the election. Imagine out of 435 seats that the Jewish lobby group in Washington, or the Jewish American lobbying group, or the pro-Jewish Israeli group in Washington, is going to spend about $23 million just to defeat one person. It's unbelievable. I mean, how much can this person affect? Let's just listen to this. Let's go.
We already have the most expensive congressional primary in American history.
Wait.
There are 6 days to go until Election Day in New York, and we already have the most expensive congressional primary in American history. It's happening in the 16th district, where Representative Jamaal Bowmen faces a challenge from a fellow Democrat, Westchester County Executive George Latimer. More than $22 million have been poured into this race. Again, there's a primary between two Democrats in a D+20 district. Why all that spending? Where is it coming from? Well, this race isn't really about the candidates, at least the spending part of it. It's more about the shape of politics in the post-Citizens United era. Just take a look at this bar chart here. Here are the 5 top spenders in New York 16, according to the data firm AdImpact. Both the candidates...
By the way, District 16 is just one district. One district out of 435 districts in the United States. And look how much money has been spent so far to defeat this guy.
Are there, as well as some groups you would expect in a liberal Democratic primary. The vast majority of all the ad spending in this primary, $14 million, is coming from over there on the left from a single super PAC called the United Democracy Project, or UDP. They are the sole reason this is the most expensive primary ever in American history. Now, UDP is a super PAC created and largely funded by the pro-Israel lobby group AIPAC.
Yep.
And it's not surprising that AIPAC and its associated groups are going after Democrats like Bowman specifically. Ever since he gained his seat by knocking off longtime incumbent Eliot Engel back in 2020, Bowman has been aligned with the progressive squad in the House, and he has been criticizing the Israeli government, calling for a ceasefire in its war with Gaza. His opponent, George Latimer, basically takes the opposite positions. He supports Israel's continued war and opposes a ceasefire.
Typical
and you might
guy.
think, okay, yeah, fair enough. That is a very divisive issue among the Democratic electorate in a primary. That's what primaries are for, right? But here's the thing. UDP, the pro-Israel super PAC, didn't drop $14 million of pro-Israel ads on this race. In fact, it didn't mention Israel in its ads at all.
Jamaal Bowmen has his own agenda and refuses to compromise, even with President Biden.
George Latimer is putting people ahead of personal agendas and delivering real progressive results.
Apparently, the choice not to mention.
Imagine a pro-Israeli lobbying group in Washington spent $14 million in ads against a person that disagreed with Israel's war in Gaza without ever mentioning Israel as an issue. Now, there's a problem with that because a lot of Americans don't know where the money's coming from and who benefits from that. You understand what's going on over here?
Israel in any ads was a strategic one on the part of the pro-Israel super PAC funding those ads. A UDP spokesman telling Politico last month, "We run ads on the issues voters are most focused on," which again is a little odd because it is sort of a big issue, you'd imagine. But it seems almost as if the pro-Israel group thinks that pro-Israel ads might not actually play as well as they would hope in a heavily Democratic district like Bowman's. So instead, the group that can make unlimited expenditures is using its money to attack Bowman, as you saw in that ad, for being insufficiently loyal to President Biden and his agenda. That does play in a heavily Democratic district. The irony, as Slate revealed last spring, is that most of UDP's top funders are Republican mega donors, including Bernie Marcus, the former CEO of Home Depot, Robert Kraft, the New England Patriots owner, and Paul Singer, who also famously took
all Jews, all billionaire Jews who use their money and power to fund a group that is there to displace other congressmen for the love of Israel. Kraft is the owner of the Patriots. The other guy, Singer, is a rich. So there's a lot of money, is being held before. Oh, this is an anti-Semitism trope. You can't say that Jews are using their money for politics. Of course you can't say that. Arabs are using their money. Hispanics are using money. It's just the brothers, our brothers, our Jewish brothers happen to have more money than everyone else, I guess. I'm going to get kicked off YouTube one day.
Sam Alito on that luxury fishing trip.
Yep.
But it gets even weirder, okay? If you look back at that bar chart, there's another super PAC there. That's Fair Shake. See that there next to George Latimer in between Jamaal Bowman. Now, Fair Shake is a super PAC backed by cryptocurrency interests who want to keep crypto lightly regulated. They are running ads against Bowman too, but they are not running ads on crypto. They are running ads on, wait for it, Israel. This is what Citizens United has wrought. Enormous swarms of big money from anodyne-sounding groups pounding a candidate while concealing what their own interests are. It's a bizarre perversion of genuine democratic discourse that does not serve voters. But it works great for mega donors.
You got it, brother, Chris. So you see, guys, the reason I'm talking about this today, it might not interest a lot of young people, or they might say, oh my, why? You have to understand what's going on, that that a lot of money is being inserted into elections to have an out to defeat your vote. You see, your vote don't count no more. Your vote, wait, your vote doesn't count. If a group that is pro-Israel is putting $23 million in one district in New York City, how does your vote count anymore? Why would you go vote anymore? This is it should be illegal, it should be unbelievable, and it's not right. I mean, this is corruption 101. You like my new glasses, guys? This is corruption 101. Imagine if the Palestinian had a group in Washington that was not registered as a foreign lobbying group and spent $100 million a year on elections to dislodge people who disagree with Palestine and get rid of Jewish politicians or black politician or Hispanic politician and get anybody or Zionist Christian politician who disagree with Palestine. Imagine what the reaction is going to be. I mean, like, what the hell is going on over here? You understand what I'm saying? This is the problem that we have. Let me introduce you to Jamaal Bowmen. He's a nice guy. I mean, he's like a New Yorker who tell it like it is guy, I guess. There he is.
And particularly from my opponent's campaign, billionaire Republicans.
Hold on. Let me set it up for you. Kendrick, huh? They're not like us. They're not like us. All right, let's set it up. This is a small snippet of the debate that went on. A couple of days. He defeated the guy. He smacked him down.
Are buying our democracy. The reason why our democracy doesn't work for working class people and the majority of the American people is because of big money in politics. He is running a big money campaign. They're spending more money in this race to get me out than they have ever spent in their history, meaning AIPAC. More money than they have ever spent in their history. That sounds like a dog whistle.
You see how this sounds like a dog whistle. You're talking about AIPAC that gave me $23 million? That sounds like a dog whistle to me. You're fucking bought and owned by fucking AIPAC, you filthy animal. You shouldn't go nowhere near the capital of the United States. You should fucking never go or get elected to any office for taking $23 million from a pro-Israeli group just to defeat a guy who wants a ceasefire. This is the problem we have in the United States of America right now. We don't have no real political officers. We don't have no real political parties. Everybody's corrupt, man. Everybody, the president, the cabinet, everybody is, I mean, I swear to God, man, everybody's corrupt. The only people who are not corrupt is the idiot like me and others who work 9 to 5 and who pay their taxes. We're the dumbest idiots in the United States. You understand what's going on, people? You got to wake up, man. Take your country back, man. Take it back.
It's a one issue special interest. Their issue, according to Politico, is Israel.
Correct.
Yeah, so
let me, I think I still had time on the clock.
Yeah.
Good. So their one issue is Israel, not Mount Vernon, not the Bronx, not New Rochelle, not Portchester, not White Plains, not Tuckahoe, Israel. And they recruited him to run against me. And they're spending more money in this race than they have ever spent in their history. Why? Because I'm fighting against the genocide in Gaza and because I'm speaking up for black and brown people here. We should not be sending billions of dollars to another country to commit genocide while we are struggling to live day to day right here in this district.
Hey, what's up? Hello. What's up? Yo, Omar, how you doing? Let me see, man. You like them glasses, brother? What's up, John Wayne? John Wayne pretends to be my friend and then throw a little jab here and there once in a while when I'm talking. What's up, my brother? How you doing, John Wayne? Are you the real John Wayne? Are you the one who's killing all those native Indians, man? Is it you? Say it ain't so, John Wayne. What's up, my brother? How are you? How you feeling? Great? Hope you're doing all right. We're talking about the money. We're talking about your friends at APAC's money in New York. They have spent $23 million to get rid of this guy, this poor guy, man. I feel sorry for him, man. So let me see what this is. You there? All right, so let me get it. You know, I hate when I go full. Okay.
Specific to the tweet, though,
All right.
it is.
I'm going to show you a video from 4 years ago. It's about APEC. I have to show it to you. Remember Ilhan Omar, the Muslim, the terrorist from Minnesota, from Somalia? Remember when she was talking about APEC about a couple of years ago, and she said, it's all about the Benjamin. She tweeted a tweet. It's about the Benjamin, and everyone and their mother came out against her, man. Laugh out loud. What's up, man? Let me see. You could tell I'm going right. Laugh out. I'm good, man. Just swam at my aunt's swimming pool with all the fam. That's good. That's good. It's hot out there. So that's cool. That's good, man. So John Wayne, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know how old you are, so I don't know what age group I'm dealing with here. About 7 years ago, I think it was 2018, around there. Nice glasses. They look good. Thanks, man. You know, they're a little not, you know, I try to get a little more tinted, but they didn't do it. So this is about in 2018, a congresswoman by the name of Ilhan Omar. So they were talking about APEC, and then she tweeted, it's all about the Benjamin. It's all about the money. And then all of a sudden, everybody and their mother came out against her. The whole idea was to put her in her place, because she was the first Muslim with a scarf in her head, what we call it, with the hijab in her head. And she says something that everybody knows and everybody gets, money from APEC to the tune of $100 million every cycle. So when she said about the Benjamin, they talked down to her, they censored her. They said this is an anti-Semitism trope. You should not talk about money and Jews at the same time. The word Jewish and money should not be mentioned in once. Hey, listen. Jewish Americans are very successful. I mean, it's not a trope. It's not anti-Semitism to say the truth. And APEC is one of the most donated to organization that has interest, Israeli interest. So let's listen to her when she had to go do she had to go on a sorry. Should I play that or that one? Let me play this and I'll play how they reacted to her.
It upset many Jewish Americans, many Jews around the world, and a lot of Jews in the 5th District. Mm-hmm. What do you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, that for me is the regrettable part. And what is regrettable about that for me is that
he was telling the truth.
Sometimes you could be so blinded to.
They scare her so much. They had her go on TV to tell a lie on the truth. APEC is about the Benjamin. You just saw they just spent $23 million against Jamaal Bowmen in New York to defeat him on June 25 in a primary. It's not even a. This is her poor soul going on a tour. I'm sorry.
How certain words could stir up feelings of pain for people.
What's the pain?
I was in conversations with Congressman Keith Ellison, and he was describing all of these words that hold so much negative feelings that stir up negative feelings for the African American community. And I said, none of those things really would ever make me feel any sort of way. And he said, well, you're an African immigrant. And so oftentimes you'll hear people say, as a Jewish person, I'm not hurt by Ilhan's words. And then you'll hear people say, as a Jewish person, I'm hurt by Ilhan's words. And that is true, because we all have our own ways of interpreting words, and we have our own biases that sometimes help us navigate the world. And I've never really imagined myself walking into a situation where anything that I would do or any words that I would say would stir up hate for anyone.
You apologized for that tweet.
I did.
I did. So the whole idea they got her on TV because she said the word. It's all about the Benjamin. Now, if AIPAC is actually boasting about having a 99.9% success story of getting the candidate they want because they spend the money and they put the money where their mouth is, isn't it about the Benjamins? If you're donating to 97 out of 100 senators, isn't that about the Benjamins? And they had this poor girl walk around. They dumped her down. They started talking about. They censored her. How is it anti-Semitism trope? How could you say that? You're African immigrant, you. But it's true. What she was saying was true. It is about the Benjamin. It is about money.
Do you still believe in your apology? Would you apologize again today?
I would. I think anytime somebody stops you and says what you did or what you said has hurt my feelings, I think you are not a good human if you do not pause and take that in and recalculate it in your head and reach a conclusion that tells you that you should apologize.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna tell you why she had to apologize because hold on. This is after this is the United States politicians. Every single person here who's gonna come on this video has got up to $500,000 or $1 million from AIPAC. So listen to their fucking bullshit. This is 2018 now.
Suggested that our support for Israel explained away by money or by secret dual loyalties of our Jewish friends here in the Congress.
From this Benjamin, it's not about the Benjamins. It's because they share our values. They just don't get it.
It is about the Benjamins. I'm going to show it right now after we finish this video.
It's because America and Israel share a love of freedom and democracy.
For many years, such slurs and tropes were limited to the fringes. Sadly, they've recently received new prominence, having been repeated and retweeted by a sitting member of Congress. So right from the get-go, I want to say this.
This is the leader of the Republican Party talking about that girl, Ilhan Omar, the Somalian, that black African who's Muslim, who happens to be the first or the first woman Muslim to be in the United States Congress. Imagine they are 37. They are 27 right now. There's got 27 Jews in Congress, and there are 10 senators who are Jewish. I vote to Schumer. Schumer is he's in New York. I don't have. But imagine that. All of a sudden, this girl with a hairstyle comes in and she says the truth. Everybody loses their mind. It is not about the Benjamins. It's about our Judo-Christian tradition. There is no Judo. They made it. There's Christian tradition and there's Judo tradition. That was you just a fucking hoodwink, you guys.
My friends, your advocacy is not a conspiracy. It's not just another ism, but a hatred with a specific and horrific history. So I'm troubled that leading Democrats seem reluctant to plainly call out problems within their own ranks.
Israel and America are connected now and forever.
Yeah,
we will never allow anyone to make Israel a wedge issue. That pledge is proudly honored in this Congress, where support for Israel remains ironclad and bipartisan. I simply declare to be anti-Semitic is to be anti-American. It has no place in our country.
So, you know.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos. Or
shut up! You took Brian Williams' job. So you saw Nancy Pelosi, who's one of the worst, one of the most corrupt individual in Congress. She's worth more than $300-400 million, and she came from San Francisco without a dollar. She only had the plane ticket. So I'm not sure about that. I'm just saying that. But I know she became very rich using the stock market, which is pretty normal to be in Congress. All right. Let it be. So let's say, I know guys are driving you nuts with this. Let's go to see if it's about the Benjamin or not. Dum, 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 dum. Here you go. Now, you tell me that it's not about the Benjamin. This is the U.S. Senate. My glasses, I can't even see good. 700,000. Let me see. Holy cow, I'm losing my sight, guys. Look at all this money. Look at all these money. Look at the small numbers here, 200,000. Every single person of them is getting money from one group called APEC in Washington. See APEC? If you want to track APEC, go to this. You could get this as an app, or on Twitter. You could just track APEC and see how much these guys are. The problem is they it's like betting. It's like cheating. You know, when you shaving off points in a basketball game. They betting on everybody on the board. Democrats, independents, Republicans. They betting again. I mean, they just shaving points. Every single person. How you have it here, Brian? See. See. This McConnell who said our relationship is not about money. What is that, 1.5 million? I can't see that good. This is the scumbag that just finished saying it's not about money. It's about money. You are owned by these. Look at this. The reason that 40,000 people are genocidal and killed and murdered in cold blood, and you guys are not doing anything, is because you are owned by APEC. Every single one of you are a piece of shit. Every one of you. I mean, we need an overhaul of our system, man. I mean, this is going to eventually, it's going to eventually collapse. The system we have right now, it has to collapse. It can't stay like that. It cannot stay like this, where every single person is taking money from one organization. What their only objective is Israel. Yeah, this is the fucking ugly guy. What's his name? Fartman, whatever his name is. Here's our gay brother from South Carolina. Our other gay brothers from Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham are both senators from South Carolina, right? And they're both not married, and they're almost 60 years old. I don't know what's going on in South Carolina. Mitt Romney is a billionaire, and he still takes money. It's disgusting, man. Why would you take money? Just say, listen, I'm rich. I don't need your money. That's it. I'm sure the Mormon's going to vote for you anyway. Let me load the AC. It's hot as hell out there. It's very hot in New York. I didn't go out for 2 days or 3 days. Here we go. Mark Warner, a Democrat. So if it's not about the Benjamin, what is it about? Huh? Let me get rid of this thing. Maybe it's blocking the way. Sorry, Charlie Brown. It's not blocking the way. I'm not going to do it. See what I'm saying? Here. This is just the Senate, ladies and gentlemen. It's disgusting. I mean, to have that lady censored and berated because she said APEC is about the Benjamin. We have proof with our own eyes. It is about the Benjamins, man. It's about the Benjamin. Look at it. This is just the Senate, man. I mean, let me see. It's disgusting. And this is the U.S. House. Look at this. Look, I'm gonna go. Okay, hold your breath. If you could hold your breath until I finish every single one, then I know you have strong lungs, because I can. You understand? This is unbelievably disgusting. This is a lobby group, AIPAC, which is not. It's a Jewish American lobbying group that lobbies for Israel. It is not an Israeli lobbying group, because if it was an Israeli lobbying group, it would be registered as a foreign entity. Since it's a domestic lobbying group, then it is Jewish American money to help Israel. And the problem is they are knocking off other politicians. I mean, 80% of their victims are blacks or Hispanics, believe it or not. The same people who voted and brought the Jewish people to power in the United States. It's the black community after the 1964 Civil Rights Bill, when blacks were able to vote in masses. The most people to consolidate power and benefit from that were Jewish Americans, who are now really overrepresented in the U.S. Congress and the Senate. You understand? This is just Delaware. I could go on for a whole hour, because you have 435 members. Hold your breath. It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins. Oh, yo. Understand? All right. You saw that, right? You saw that, Mr. Wayne? What do you think, Mr. Wayne? You think you really own your government? Huh? You really think you're the one in charge of your own government? You're not charged of. We don't. It's. I mean, let me talk normal. Let me tell you why I said that Jewish Americans benefits from the black community or the black vote more than any, because before 1964, Jews were discriminated against, though they were considered as white, here in the North, or had money, but they were not voted for into Congress. Today in GPAT chat, I try to get how many people were in 1960 were of Jewish heritage that were in the U.S. Congress. There was none. Zero, I think. GPT chat could not come up with a number. I said, use public record. They said, we can't find anything. I said, how many are today? They said there's 27 congressmen and women who are of Jewish background, which is good. I mean, good luck to them, and who are in the Senate. Now, why am I saying this? Because the AIPAC is targeting African-American candidates who they disagree with. Now, the reason I say that after the 1964 civil rights movement is blacks were used as one voting bloc, and they still do that. Maybe 70 to 80%, to 85 to 90% of blacks vote one way. And the biggest benefactor of the 1964 civil rights bill that benefit blacks to easily vote was the Jewish community in the United States. I mean, they became powerful. That's how they consolidate their power. Is that like the groups like the Muslims, they scare us. Oh, the Muslims, they scare us about white nationalism. They hate you. The white nationalists going to get you. The LGBT community. Oh, we are protecting you. If it wasn't us, oh, we're gonna. I mean, this is the Democratic Party. I'm not saying that. I mean, this is the Democratic Party. This is the tactics that they use to scare groups into voting a certain way in the United States. You're part of the LGBT community. They're gonna come and get you. Are you Muslim? Be careful. Those rednecks gonna hate you. They're gonna come and take over, and they're gonna deport you. We're protecting you from being deported. Us, the Democratic Party, and then you'll have the blacks. Oh, we are defending your civil rights. Look at that. We put a judge over there. We got a black judge now. You see that? We gave you a black judge. You see that? That's what we did. You understand? So this tactic is used by the Democratic Party, which is mostly 74% of the Jewish community vote Democrat. They vote the same way that I voted before. Uh-oh. I probably killed my air conditioner, guys. The same way I vote, the same everybody votes. We vote Democrat because they scare us to death. We are scared, man. Whitey is going to get you. Those white people are going to get you. The whites are coming. Oh! This is what it is. This is how the Democratic Party and the AIPAC consolidate their power in the United States is by using minority as building blocks to consolidate power. You know, I had an argument one time with this guy on Twitter. I said, well, you know, yes, they said, well, the Jewish community, what is it? Hold on. The Jewish community supported the civil rights movements. They gave money. They helped. Yeah, they did. Sure, of course they did. Because they knew they could not succeed by themselves because they are a small number. So they needed a large number of people to work with, to ride the wave to public offices. It's the truth, man. What do you think because as soon as the civil rights bill passed, the Jewish community got elected to offices. They got on the table. They had the same menu while the blacks remained in the kitchen. The blacks they benefit until now from the civil rights bill as a political entity. So what I'm saying that AIPAC should not be targeting Black Americans or Hispanic Americans because these are the people who put Jewish Americans in power as senators, as mayor, as governors, as police chiefs, as mailman, whatever you want to call it. These are the people who vote for them to get it, for the Jewish American community to get into office and consolidate power as a powerhouse. I don't know why I went there. I mean, I hope. And let me say that I have no malice toward Jews or anything, or blacks or whites or anybody else, man. I'm just another American here. I love America like everybody else does. If you love America, I love you too, man. But I just don't like the corruption that's going on right now, man. The fear-mongering of people, where they're putting us as tribes against each other, where our people are afraid of each other, where they already cut us down to red states, to blue states, then purple states, then they're going to come with pink states, then they're going to have orange states, until we have no motherfucking states. No, oh, shit, I curse. You know, YouTube does an ad mess up with my channel that I can't get all the ads because they said it's not. And I always say, could you review it? When they review it, they say, oh, well, a human person confirmed that your video is not ad suitable for all. The other day, I just did commentary on a debate, and they hurt you with the money, man. I made 38 cents for a whole show. So I'm not in it for the money no more, man. I'm just for it for the Palestinians, man. I just don't like this muscle move on the Palestinian and blacks. Anyway, so you saw what I'm talking about, guys. The United States is corrupt, man. Not the people. There's so much in fire. Look who's running for president. Look who's our president. Look, it is shameful. You know who we resemble right now? We resemble the Soviet Union in the 1980s, from 1979 to 1989, where all the leaders were all either in their 90s, some of them were in a coma, some of them were dead. But the Russian, the Communist Party won't say how they are doing. A matter of fact, Reagan had a famous line. President Ronald Reagan used to say, they keep on, they say, why aren't you negotiating peace with the Russians? He said, they keep on dying on me. This is what we got. I mean, can we do better than Joe Biden? Donald Trump. Why do we need Donald Trump or Joe Biden? I mean, they don't have nobody. We have no benches. These two corrupt parties or two political parties, they don't have a good bench. You don't have young people to run for president of the United States. We don't have that. Joe Biden is like a zombie. You know what's going to happen if Joe Biden wins? You know who's going to be the leader? The cabinet is going to be the run of the country. The Secretary of State, the Vice President Harris, they're not going to give her shit. She's too stupid to be any place. It'll be Blinken. It'll be all the boys there in the cabinet. They'll be arguing over policy. And Joe Biden will be in the room with an ivy in his hand. What are we doing, boys? Here's the glasses, Joe. Oh, thank you. I'm going to go back to sleep. Joe Biden is going to be, I mean, people are laughing at us in other countries. You see, the reason I know they're laughing at us because I was not born in the United States, so I read international newspapers, and I talk to people overseas. Like, what's going on, Omar? I say, well, what's going on, guys? Out of 330 million people, you can find anybody to run for president. I say, well, what's wrong with our president? Well, they say one guy is walking around, and the other guy's talking about stuff that didn't exist, it didn't happen. Even Donald Trump, okay. This is to the Donald Trump cultists. Donald Trump does not serve you. He does not serve you. Donald Trump is from New York City. He's a transactional man. He worked in real estate. He's the kind of person who will tell you, there's 10 people waiting for this apartment and there's nobody just to sell that apartment or rent it. It's all for him. What he does is he monetizes the presidency. Even when he was president, he wasn't doing nothing. He was not the president. He couldn't do nothing on his own. He bought all these crazy people from New York, from Wall Street, from all over he said the swamp. He bought a bigger swamp to Washington. You need some young people. I mean, the Republican Party should have some young, smart people. Vivek Samwari, whatever his name is, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is smart. J.D. Vance graduated, I think, out of Yale or Harvard. He's not he ain't no redneck. Don't believe that book he wrote about, the redneck effigy book he wrote about. It's all corrupt, man. It's all corrupt. Now, let's move to other news now. Now, we're having an issue here. What's this video? Let me see.
It's a mistake.
All right. I love the Irish people. Let's listen to this Irishman before we go. Hezbollah and Israel about to go at it any minute now. Now, I'm from New York City, right? I grew up in New York. I still live in New York. So already, I've been down with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. This is an Irish parliament member in Ireland. He's talking about Israel.
I hope that Benjamin Netanyahu burns in hell the same way them children and their families burned. I hope him and his generals and the far-right government in Israel, that when their God finally brings him to the resting place, that he deserves to burn in hell. Because what is happening now, not alone is it apartheid, not alone is it atrocity and a war crime, it's just horrific. It's just horrific what they're doing. Where is their soul? Where is the soul of the Israeli people?
There's no soul.
Use their government to do this to children.
Nobody there. Look at
Where is their humanity The Israeli people, the Jewish people, after everything the Jewish people have suffered down over the decades, that they would allow their government to do this to other human beings. Human beings. But in the eyes of Netanyahu and this far-right Israeli government, Palestinians are human beings. But today here, the Irish people say, we recognize Palestine. We recognize that they are human beings, just like every one of us. Shame on Israel. Shame on what they've done, and will never be forgotten.
All right, thank you, my brother. This is why I love the Irish, man. The Irish people are the greatest people in the world, man. Really, I really do love them, and I respect them a lot. They're very generous people. And the reason they are pro-Palestinian, a lot of people don't know why. The Irish suffered a lot under the British Empire. The potato famine. They were occupied for almost 800 years. They were treated like second-class citizens. Even in the United States, they were not even considered, they were called bad stock. They were considered white, but a bad stock. They're not, they're not original. That's like buying a lot of fruits, and the Irish were the bad ones, That's why Ireland, they support, you go to Ireland, all you see is Palestinian flags. Because the Irish know what it means to be occupied and to be hurt and to be disfranchised and to be disrespected and to be killed and murdered and starved to death, because Ireland starved to death. 2 million Irish died because the British denied them food during the potato famine. So the Irish know that they suffered, and that's why they are with the Palestinian people. Because they know they suffered from them. The Palestinian struggle is because of England. That's why I always say the greatest tragedy in human history was the British Empire. This is the greatest tragedy in human history, is the British Empire. The Palestinian suffering today is because of the Balfour Declaration in 1917, when Balfour, an anti-Semite who hated Jews, wanted to get rid of the Jews, and he said, well, listen, we'll send them to Palestine. And the caretaker of the Palestine was the British at that time, and they purposely trained Jewish terrorist organizations and the Oregon, the Stern Gang, all these motherfuckers, and they gave them the best weapons. As a matter of fact, some of them served in World War II just to get the good training to prepare them for 1948. When they declared independence, the Arab armies had no weapons. 5 Arab countries attacked Israel. What fucking 5 Arab countries? They love to make themselves big. The Israeli army, we saw how coward they are. They can't fucking defeat people in fucking caves, man, in tunnels. They're a bunch of hussies. We were attacked in 1948 by 5 Arab countries. First of all, most of the Arab countries were under colonial rule. They had no real army. The only country that had a real army was Jordan. It's called the Foreign Legion, whatever you want to call it. And the British said they cannot participate in the war. And the reason the Arab country declared war on Israel is because for one whole year before May, they deported almost 750,000. This is before one shot was. They were running through. If you read the book by a Jewish scholar, Ilan Pape, called "The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine," the first terrorist act was done by Jews from Europe on the King David Hotel in Israel. Arabs didn't know what terrorism is. Arabs fought you face to face then. We didn't even know what nationalism was. Arabs didn't know what nationalism was before 1948 or before European countries came. We didn't know what nationalism is. We were ruled by Turks for 800 years or 500 years. I don't know how many, 400 years. We didn't say, well, those Turkish people are actually occupying our. No, we didn't know what that is. All we knew that they were Muslim and we're Muslim, so everything is hey, hooray, everything is okay. Then the British come say, no, those are Turks or Arabs. And their whole idea was to get rid of the Turk and take over and split the Arab countries into 24 countries. That's why I say the British Empire is the greatest tragedy in human history. Because what they did with the French in 1921 when they drew the Arab world is with a pencil. They were drawn by, I don't know, Hispy and Pixby, I don't know how to pronounce their name. They never been to the region. They didn't take into consideration the tribe affiliation. Like, for example, in Libya, you have tribes in Tunis who are Libyan, and you have Libyan who are Tunisian, and they just cut them off. They did that in Africa. That's why you have, oh, this is my border, this is your border. Anyway, to get back to 1948, the British Empire just gave away the Palestine. I want to show you something. I want to show you how evil the Israeli army is. Let me show you this. You see this? Can you see it good? No. Okay. That's a Palestinian injured. He put him on top of his car. You know, like when you have a roadkill here in the United States, like when you run over a deer or you kill a deer or something, you put them on your top of your van and take them home. This is an Israeli army. This is the Jewish army. This is the so-called most moral army in the world. This is the army that we support with our tax dollars. This is the army, the scumbags, the evil the Ashkenazi. The word Nazi is in their name. That's why I'm talking like I'm talking now, and I'm the way because these are my people, man. These are human beings. You don't get to run over somebody and throw him on top of your car like he was an animal. You understand, man? There's no humanity in these people. This humanity will turn against the United States in a minute. These people, they will turn against the United States in a fucking second. If we don't give them weapons, you saw how that guy was barking at Netanyahu. You saw him barking orders at Biden. You're not giving us no weapons, huh? Where's the weapons? Now you're supposed to give us free. Where are you, goyim? Now you have to be the judge of that. Why would people defend these people? This state, this state that was created illegally, and these animals, they're animals. They have shown who they are. You saw what they did in Palestinian home. They got dressed in women's lingerie. They stole the women's gold. They stole the women's dresses. This is the $4 billion we give every year to these people. This is how they deal with people who are occupied. When you look at what's going on right now, let me remove this. When you're looking at what's going on right now, forget about it. Let's put October 7 on the side. There is an occupation of a people who are brutally occupied for almost now in the West Bank and Gaza for 56 years, and inside Jerusalem and the other for 76 years. We are saying that Israel has the right to occupy a people by force and treat them like animals, build villages in their villages, deprive them of their human rights, of their civil rights, deprive them of water and food, and starve them to death, because that's what we're doing as Americans. By supporting Israel as Americans, that's what we're doing. Oh shit, now the allergy's coming. I gotta get the hell out of this one. See the allergy? That's what we're doing, man. See, I hate that. So now there's a problem we're having right now. Israel wants to go to war with Hezbollah. Now, Hezbollah is not like Hamas. Hezbollah is a well-equipped people. You understand? Let me see if I can find it here before I show you. I don't know. This is it. Let me try to write it down here. Here we go. All right, let's share some stuff on Twitter. Now, all these military, like the Houthis in Yemen, the Iraqi resistance, the Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, what they're saying is very simple. They're actually right, and we're wrong. What they're saying is stop the genocide, and we're gonna stop shooting ships and Israeli targets. That's all we want you to do. Tell Israel, stop killing the Palestinians. No, we as the United States, the power, the home of the brave, the land of the free, are saying no. We support the genocide, and that's where we're going to be. We're on the side of genocide, and those so-called terrorist organizations are on the side of stop the war and put a ceasefire to it. You understand how we look in the world? That's how the people see us. This is how the people see the United States right now. The other side, the Hezbollah, all these so-called terrorist organizations are saying, stop the genocide, and we're going to stop doing what we're doing against Israel. And we, the United States, we're saying, no. We're going to send more bombs. We're going to send more rockets. We're going to send more money, $26 million. We're going to send you 2,000 bombs. These are 1-ton bombs. A 2,000 bomb is 10 of me. I'm 200 pounds. That's 10 Omars in one bomb. And why do you need 2,000-ton bombs? They have no rockets. They have nothing. Exactly, to kill human beings. Okay, let me just share this for now. Hezbollah is in southern Lebanon. If you are people, you have to educate yourself a lot, my friend. Is this it? I hope this is it, because I'm so blind. Where are you? The audio's killing me. Okay. Hezbollah in southern Lebanon didn't exist before 1983. You know how it existed? Israel invaded Lebanon and occupied southern Lebanon. In response, the Shiite Hezbollah, they organized a ragtag resistance movement to get Israel off southern Lebanon. And through the years, they become better and more sophisticated, or more better. And then in 1985, Iran, who has a problem, said, hey, you guys need weapons? Hey, yeah, we need. Oh, all right. All right. So for Iran is using them to get at America, because they know Israel is America's ally. So they say, we'll give you weapons, we'll give you rockets, we'll give you missiles, we'll train you and make you a force not to be played with against Israel. Now, Israel, this is not the same thing as Hamas. The Lebanese fighters, there's more than 100,000 fighters, strong fighters. They say they have more than 10,000 rockets and Katyushas and missiles. And they are not surrounded by Israel. See, Hamas is using weapons. If they're going to run out of weapons sooner or later, because they don't have any way to get more weapons, because they are surrounded by Israelis. But Lebanon and the Hezbollah, they could get weapons every day, and they could open a fight for the next 10 years. They don't care. Trust me. And they are vicious fighters. The Shiites, we saw what they did with Iraq. This is what's that? They just, doesn't anyone tell you that Hezbollah, Don't let anybody. Okay, this is what's his name? This is Jackson Hinkle. You could agree with him. It's really just dry white surface. Yeah, you don't know what. I don't trust him too much. Let me see what this guy said. Let's see what this idiot.
Second question is, Mr. Kirby said on Sunday that, and let me quote him so I'll be accurate. He said, the U.S. has not found any evidence of Israel violating international law. He refers to the State Department. He said the State Departments have a normal process where if there's an incident reported, they will follow up. And they concluded,
This is a question. The United States did an investigation. They said that the Israeli IOF has not violated any human law, any humanitarian laws. They are starving 2 million people. Forget about the killing and the murder of 40,000 people. Because of that money from AIPAC, they can't say the truth. Listen to what he says.
The State Department concluded that Israel has not violated international law. So my question to you is, in the face of all the humanitarian organizations working in Gaza, including MSF yesterday, that they said Israel has targeted not just aid workers, but doctors and journalists. And Chef Jose Andres said as well that Israel is committing crime against humanity. Why the U.S. is not conducting an investigation regardless of these incidents, a full investigation, like you asked to be conducted in Ukraine after the Russians invaded.
So we do have a number of ongoing assessments with respect to this very question. We have not yet. That is how we do. That's how we operate inside the State Department. We have a number of different bureaus, experts from across our bureaus that look at facts, apply them to international law, and make.
And all these experts have not seen Israel commit any human rights violation by murdering children and women. I just showed you they had a guy on top of a car like like he's one of those roadkill animals. History will remember this as the most disgusting and most disgraceful moment in American history, where we sold our values because for Netanyahu and the Israeli army. We sold our values as Americans. We were just recovering from the fucking war in Iraq, and all of a sudden Israel brings us right back in.
Assessments. Those assessments are ongoing, and we have not yet at this time concluded that Israel has violated international humanitarian law, but we have ongoing assessments across a number of different fronts.
So all these organizations are just wrong? They just see the law different?
I'm telling you that we have ongoing assessments, and we have not yet reached that conclusion. Janet, go ahead.
Fuck you and your ancestors, you piece of shit. Here he is. He's upset.
فإن المقاومة ستقاتل بلا ضوابط وبلا قواعد وبلا أسلحة.
Okay, this is what he's saying. Can you read what he's saying? This guy is fucking nuts. This is the leader of Hezbollah. I think his name is Hassan Nasrallah. In case an inclusive war is imposed on Lebanon, translation, the resistance will fight without restraint, without rules, and without limit. This is Hezbollah's drones. They were all over Israel. The Iron Dome, they're fucking so-called sophisticated. They didn't do shit. Hezbollah sent them, when they took this video out, when they put it out, they said, to whom it may concern. It's weird, man. The Middle East is weird. This is Hezbollah's drone photos over Haifa. Haifa, this is where the Israeli most important city where they have the oil storage, they have the chemical agents, whatever you want to call them. The only port they have, the biggest port they have, the airports. I mean, a lot of important installations are over there. The problem is the Israeli military did not even know that Hezbollah has the drone and the capabilities to go over Israel and take pictures of very sensitive areas over Israel without them knowing at all, without never even noticing it. They just noticed it when they gave him the videos. I think it was a live stream.
من يفكر في الحرب معنا سيندم.
All right, that's a Hezbollah. What do you call it? All right, let's see more videos. We're gonna watch some videos on Twitter because it's a war is going to happen. You know what? I'm going to make a prediction here because Netanyahu is coming on the 24th to address Congress without the invitation of the President of the United States. This is the second time he has done. He doesn't give a shit. You saw him every time he needs something, he just got on Twitter and they run right to him. He did that under Obama. He told Obama, I have more power in Washington than you do. And the problem is Congress is so corrupt with all that money. I'll show you the $100 million AIPAC of money. They're not going to say no. During the funeral of what is this? Hold on. That's that fucking idiot. Remember? Oh, we got a shot, and the shot is a name, and the name has your mother's name on it. This is Israel is about to unleash everything. Yeah, shut the fuck. Israel is about to get a beating. All right, this is, they're making a big deal about the flag. I'm just gonna let me just go back to something here before, let me bring you here. Let me give you some facts. Okay, fact number one. Hezbollah has never committed any terrorism against the United States since 1982. Hamas is not a terrorist organization, it's a liberation organization. Forget about the United States, because the United States, we just do whatever Israel tells us. Hamas has never operated outside Palestine or outside Israel. So they are not, because a terrorist organization is an organization that terrorizes people and operates like ISIS. ISIS is a fucking crazy motherfucker, excuse my language. Al-Qaeda is a terrorist organization. But the Hezbollah is not a terrorist organization. They are, they just operate on southern Lebanon and with Israel. Hezbollah operate in Gaza and the West Bank and East Jerusalem, their own country. They're trying to liberate their country. Did you know that Israel occupies Lebanese territory? You don't know that, right? We didn't know that. Oh my God! Thank you for enlightening us. All right, I know this video is going to get like an ad suitability by the people at what do you call it? At YouTube. Well, this video is not appropriate for advertisers. Yeah, right. Nothing is. If I start singing the Israeli national anthem, everything would be good. Oh, this is Hassan Nasser when he was young.
الذي نقرأ عنه في الإنجيل وفي القرآن وفي سيرة.
He's talking about Jesus, right? Let's see what he's saying about Jesus. This is Hassan Nasser, maybe like 30 years ago.
أنا أسأل سؤالا هنا. المسيح
Christ
الذي نقرأ عنه في الإنجيل وفي القرآن وفي سيرته وفي أخلاقه وفي قيمه، المسيح الذي سيعود عودته إلى الدنيا، نصير من سيكون؟ هذا المسيح الذي تعملون ليعود سيكون نصير من؟ هل سيكون نصير الطغاة والعتاة والجبابرة والفراعنة؟ هل سيكون نصير وعون للقتلة المتوحشين المجرمين الذين يسفكون دماء ملايين البشر من أجل السيطرة على النفط والمال والأسواق؟ هل سيكون نصير وعون أولئك قساة القلوب الذين يهدرون الكثير من أرزاق هذه الأرض ومن قمحهم ليحافظوا على سعره وعلى قيمته بالدولار في الوقت الذي يموت فيه عشرات ملايين من الجوع في العالم؟ هل هذا هو عيسى ابن مريم؟ أم أن المسيح الذي نعرفه ويعرفه المسيحيون سيكون نصير الحفاة والضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والمستضعفين والمعذبين والمظلومين؟ سيكون نصير من؟
All right, take it easy. I hate when this is going on. Where is this? London police, who I believe saved my life from certain death on Saturday when I was attacked by the supporters of terrorists. You just made that shit up. Nobody believes you. You're gonna lose. I'm sorry, brother, man. I'm sorry. They're gonna so much money against you. This is Hezbollah soldiers, man. Holy shit, they look alike too. All right. Oh, I have this video I want to show you. You know what? I have a lot of time on my hand. You could watch it with me. If you want to go, you can go. This is okay. I have to find it first, if I could find it. Videos. Hold on. I'm gonna look for the video here. This is a video of two rabbis. I want you to listen. Why don't you hang around and just watch this with me, please? This is a video of two rabbis who were being interviewed by Glenn Greenwald, isn't it? Oh, you know who he is. He's not a friend of Israel. Oh, there you go. There you go. This is it, right?
Rabbi Israel David Weiss and Rabbi David Feldman are spokesmen for the Neturei Karta Orthodox Jewish movement in America. That is a prominent Orthodox sect of Judaism that was founded in Jerusalem back in the 1930s. Both gentlemen have been outspoken in their opposition to the Israeli war in Gaza, even appearing at anti-war protests in the United States. And because there's an attempt to suggest that most Jews or all Jews are in favor of all Israeli actions, including the war, or that somehow it's anti-Semitic to criticize Israeli war actions, we thought that having these two rabbis on to share their religious-based perspective and the reason they're opposed to.
Maybe start first. I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be.
These are Jews who are against Israel. They're going to listen to them. They're going to tell you the truth.
Worthy of conveying His message, and so, inshallah, sanctify His name and bring peace to the world. Firstly, we're not only opposed to what is happening since October the 7th, we are opposed to the entire existence of the state of Israel. The ideology behind the state of Israel is Zionism, and Zionism is a corruption of what Judaism is. Judaism is a religion of 3,000 years to be subservient to God, and a political nationalist movement started over 100 years ago, 130, 140 years ago, called Zionism, which is a transformation.
These are two rabbis who are against Zionism, who are against Israel. I'm going to tell you the truth and expose the lies of the Zionists. Oh, okay.
Basically to a nationalism, to have a piece of land, and they, in order to give it legitimacy, this movement simply is incorporating the religion Judaism as its backbone, as its facade, to claim the right to have the rule over the Holy Land, and that is totally a distortion and totally corruption of Judaism, because Judaism does not permit the Jewish people, since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago, for us to have any Jewish sovereignty in any part of the world. And there's special prohibitions of that we are not to return in mass in large numbers to the Holy Land, and to reestablish any type of Jewish nationhood in the Holy Land. Secondly, we're not allowed to rebel against any nations. We have to be loyal citizens in every country we reside. And thirdly, we're not to make any attempt to end the godly decreed exilic existence that we are in since the destruction of the temple. We were told by God that we were not on that high spirituality that's required to be as a nation in the Holy Land, and therefore we were expelled from the land as a nation. As individuals, we can live there, but not as a nation, and therefore the whole concept of Zionism that started with this movement of both, mainly like pictures, Theodor Herzl and Ben Gurion, Chaim Weizmann. These are people who are purely non-religious, anti-God, anti the religion, and they simply wanted to create a state for their failings, for their emotions, for their will to have their own nationhood. And this is totally contradictory to the concept of exile, contradictory that we're not allowed to fear war against another nation, that we should be.
I'll break it down to you. You know how Zionists say, well, this land was promised to us by God. No. According to the Torah, according to Judaism, that after the second temple was destroyed, no Jewish nation shall ever be erected as a nation until their Messiah comes and brings everybody and calls and declares Israel as a state. But they got around it. They got some rabbis to approve it. So these Jews are still holding on to their religious belief. They could live in Palestine as citizens. That's why if you go to Jerusalem, there's a whole neighborhood of people like him, of Jewish religious Jews who have Palestinian flags in their windows. And you should see how they beat them up. And when they say that Israel is a safe haven for Jews, not for these ones. The Zionists, they beat them up every day. The police will club them every day.
Loyal citizens in every country. And so the whole concept of Zionism is really antithetical and contradictory to Judaism, and the rabbinical authorities around the world were in total opposition to this movement of Zionism prior to its, the establishment of the State of Israel, while it was being developed in Europe. And all the rabbis, we put out books called The Rabbis Speak Out, where we compiled 130 years of religious Jewish opposition to Zionism. These are the major.
It's 130 years they've been against the State of Israel. That's 76 years before it was founded. They knew what the Zionists were doing was wrong and it was a lie. They knew.
The leading authorities, Torah authorities from around the world, and each in their style, spoke up and said that we as Jews are forbidden to try to establish our own nationhood. We are, and they spoke against Zionism and the leaders and the corruption, and that it's not Judaism. Till today, it goes till today, where the state was created, and that we are standing in total opposition. And therefore, you will find around the world, invariably, the very religious communities, because we are religious Jews, we stand in opposition totally to the mere existence of the state of Israel. And there's a lot more to speak about how we're being harassed, murdered by the Zionists. And me personally, as you asked, my father escaped from the Nazis when they invaded Hungary. His parents were killed in Auschwitz. The majority of my family were killed in both Hungary and Poland. My mother's family was from Poland. My father's from Hungary, all of blessed memory. And my father came to the United States. He was actually a student, a follower of great saintly rabbis in Europe. One of them was the most vociferous, outspoken voice against Zionism. A blessed memory that in Poland, the people, if a child became a Zionist, they would sit in mourning on this child as if he had died. So that's basically.
That's very helpful. That's obviously pretty stark, Rabbi Feldman. I definitely want to delve into even more the religious foundations, as you said, not just for your opposition specifically to the Israeli war in Gaza, but to your opposition to the entire Zionist project, and to kind of understand what those religious and moral foundations are. But I wanted to ask you, put the same question to you, Rabbi, just in terms of these views that you have? What is the background that led to them? What is the background of your religious studies, of your decision to become a rabbi? What was the kind of environment in which you emerged as a rabbi opposed to Zionism?
Yes, thank you. I grew up in New York in a strongly religious, anti-Zionist family, community. Anti-Zionism was part of my education all my life. I studied in New York, then I studied in London, England for 10 years, and then when I came back in 2000, year of 2000, I became a rabbi here. Now my religious education is well connected with, in other words, a major part of my religious education I received was anti-Zionism.
So let's get into the substance of your views. I think it would actually surprise a lot of people to know that there are a non-trivial number of very religious people, especially Orthodox rabbis who share your views, probably not a majority, but certainly a non-trivial number. And when I've heard Orthodox rabbis who are anti-Zionists in the past speak of kind of what went wrong in both in Israel and among the Jewish diaspora when it came to not just being Zionist, but sort of supporting this aggressive militarism that we've seen, I've heard a lot the idea that it's because of the secularism that dominates Israel, both its government and the people who elect them. If that's something that you believe, and if not, you can sort of fill your own views in there.
I don't believe at all.
What does that distinction have to do? Why is secularism a cause of Jews in general going so wrong in terms of the traditions of Judaism?
Oh, this is a very good point. Basically, it's not the only reason, the secularism, that have turned so many Jews to support Israel. There's so much more to it. It was the Holocaust. So many Jewish people were desperate after the Holocaust, and not necessarily out of their choice they ended up being in Palestine. But this is a whole story for itself. But what you were mentioning about secularism, definitely this is a...
All right, I'm going to break it down to you. I don't want to go through the whole video. Oh, so who's this? Me in the glasses now. You left me out, Mr. Wayne. All right, let me break it down to you before I go. Oh, no. Why do you guys do that? Why? Hate you. Nope. Nope. I think this is better, right? Yep. All right. You guys want to continue?
A very strong element which have turned so many people to follow Zionism. And the reason to it is quite simple. We need to understand the great difference between Judaism and Zionism. Judaism is a religion only, no politics to it. While Zionism is a purely political movement, in no way represents the Jewish religion. It happens to be the other way around. Basically, Zionism is an uprooting or a transformation of Judaism from a religion into something totally new, which is a nationalism. Yeah. Now, we need to understand that, like, for example, if you take myself, I am an American Jew. I'm Jewish by the religion I follow, and I'm American by nationality. There is no contradiction there. So can be other Jewish people. There can be Canadian Jews, there can be Palestinian Jews, and there can be Moroccan Jews. In other words, the nationality doesn't affect or interfere in the...
So to break it down to you, since the Second Temple, the destruction of the Second Temple, that Jews do not have their own nationality. They have a faith, Judaism, but wherever they live, that's their nationality. If they live in America, they're American Jews. If they live in Canada, they're Canadian Jews. If they live in Arabia, they're Arabian Jews. If they live in Palestine, they're Palestinian Jews. They do not have a nationality by default because they've been deprived out of that nationality when the Roman destroyed the Second Temple. The only way to regain nationality or become Israelis instead of just religious Jews, the Messiah or the Messiah, their Messiah has to come. Their Messiah is not Jesus. They have a different Messiah. So what this rabbi is telling you is that he was born in New York. He's an American Jew. So there is no contradiction. There is no conflict between the two. The conflict is being a Jewish Israeli, because according to the Torah, Judaism in its pure form is not supposed to be a Jewish state over there. That state was founded by, believe it or not, by secularists and atheists and socialists and communists. They didn't believe in God. They just used Jerusalem as the carrot to bring people over. And the people who were coming from after the Second World War II embraced that calling. You understand what happened? So this is what he's saying, that Jews have no nationality. That's why everybody say, oh, what are you? That's what it is. It took me a long time to figure out, believe it or not. I hope I'm right, though.
Jewishness. Therefore, a Jewish person doesn't have to have a nationality in order to be Jewish.
See?
Now, but what happens with people
I just said that shit. Holy shit.
No longer follow Judaism, regardless what the reasons might be, we are not here to judge the individual. But if people no longer follow Judaism, now they need something to replace this Jewish identity. And unfortunately, what Zionism has done to the Jewish people and to the Jewish religion is basically replacing Judaism with something new, something different, and something contrary to what Judaism was for thousands of years. Now, therefore, you find people who insist to identify with Judaism, which is a nice concept, and they refuse to give up the Jewish identity, which is excellent. But unfortunately, if they dropped what Judaism was for thousands of years and they take up something new, they end up adopting Zionism, which is the replacement. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's great. So let me just ask you, Rabbi Weiss, and actually both of you, because I know you're very familiar with the arguments in favor of Zionism. I think it's surprising to a lot of people. You mentioned Theodor Herzl, who's essentially often credited as the father of modern Zionism as a kind of thought that was only at the beginning of the 20th century in the first couple of decades. And then, of course, the State of Israel was recognized only a very short time after the end of World War II, when Europe saw what was done in the Holocaust. There were huge numbers of Jews in Europe that nobody wanted to take, and it was a way of sort of saying to the Jews, here, you can go here, this is your land now, and you don't have to stay in Europe. But the argument was essentially that if you look at Jewish history over centuries,
okay, guys, I'm a bit tired here. Getting tired. You know how I am. Tired, man. I'm getting tired of loving you. I'm getting tired of wanting to be with you. Yeah, I gotta go, man. I'm tired, guys. All right, guys. Till we meet next time, man. Anyway, the whole idea was with those rabbis is Israel does not exist, according to them, that Jews are not a nationality, but a people of faith. Wherever they are the nationality of that nation. You understand what I mean? Let me see if this is working. I love you all. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Too hot to handle. Too hot to handle. Too cold, too hot to cold.